So I graduated. Now what? I didn't think I would have the same obstacles necessarily as somebody who graduated at 22 because I have um, job experience in my later, before I went to college. And I have now graduated college at 28. Yay! I still am having the same existential woes. Well, and that's just kind of my personality, anyways, to be honest. But the same, like, what do I want to do? What is my life going to look like as any 22-year-old or anybody just graduating? In some ways, maybe even more. Because I've honestly, like, not that I can compare it to somebody else's experience. I think it's pretty common when you hit your later 20s to be kind of like, am I doing what I want to do? Honestly, when I was 22, I had way more direction at the time. I was in a career. I loved it, but I also just, it had its own pile of crap. I decided to go to college a couple years after 22. So I was 24 years old and I was still continuing to do acting and behind the scenes stuff and just film in general and animal work and all the other type of jobs I was doing. So I just decided, why not go to college? I was always pretty good at school. Because I enjoyed kind of goal setting and having some sort of structure. So I was used to all this entrepreneur stuff and freelancing. And I was like, oh my gosh, some structure would be amazing at this point in my life. And so I started school. I didn't know if I'd be so great at it because I just hadn't been in school for many years at that point. Um, so I kind of eased my way into it. I ended up really enjoying it, and I met some really great people and such supportive like professors, and I got really involved. But it was a process at first, it took time. I decided once I finished up with my associate's degree to go to finish up with my bachelor's. So I graduated with my associates in communications and then got my bachelor's in film production. And yeah, that was also a really great experience. I genuinely enjoyed the structure. I also really enjoy freelancing and having some freedom. So having that mixture was like chef's kiss. But then graduation rolled around. And yeah, I just expected, I don't know, to feel more accomplished. And maybe that's a me thing. But I was so trying to prepare for so long of like, what do I want to do right after college? What do I want to do? I'd start applying to jobs like months and months out. And then also trying to figure out what cities do I want to apply to and what kind of jobs specifically. Because I thought by this point I would kind of have a better idea of like what exactly I wanted to do. I figured something still in entertainment since I had so much background in that and knowledge in that, but I didn't know exactly what. So when I graduated, everybody's like, "Oh, Jade, how exciting! This is so you should be so proud." And I was proud, but I think I was automatically like, "Yeah, but now what? Now what?" I've always had a difficult time just staying still, even though I preach that a lot, probably because I'm still learning how to do that. Now I have a much better idea of what I want to do, whether it's more utilizing my communications degree or my film degree. I really, right now, crave stability and still being able to do freelance stuff on the side. But God, 401k, that gets me hot right now. I know in this day and age, it's like, what is stability? I get that. I would just like to try to get there as much as I can. And obviously, I'm like applying to jobs everywhere, like LinkedIn, Indeed. I guess that's it. It's a lot of, but there's a lot of applications. I do have a lot of clients with like my animal work and everything here. And like, I don't want to just give that up for any old job. It has to be, I have to be realistic to some extent on what that job looks like, but it has to be worth it. And I do want to move. I've loved where I've lived for the last 5 years, but I'm ready to move back to a city. So I've been really giving a lot of thought to what my life could look like, who I would be, what I would do. Do I want to be city girl, like Chicago, New York, not have a car? I want to be in LA again or San Diego. And then I've thought about like moving to different country. It's probably easier to just build more experience here first before I would even look into that. So yeah, I think I'm feeling also a lot of what somebody maybe who's freshly graduated at 22 is feeling, because I am choosing kind of a different career trajectory. Yes, I have experience in the career that I'm pursuing now, but I but but it's different. Trying new things and being okay with failing, and maybe the trajectory I'm on, I won't want later in life either. Or maybe I will. Right now I feel very strongly about what I'm going towards, and that's what's important to me right now. When I get really caught in the anxiety of it all and I'm like applying to a billion jobs and not hearing back or not getting an interview for the ones that I want, but only getting interviews, even offers from ones that just are not right for me right now, it can be really exhausting. But then it's also very exciting. It is really exciting. It just would be nice if it was more controlled, in my control. But that's usually not how it turns out and works out, anyways. And that's okay. I'm just trying to do what I can right now. This might make you guys, anybody who's watching this, might be able to feel seen or understood in some way. Um, Especially if you're in your later 20s or have just gone to school a little later. Touching on that, some people are like, what if I feel weird going to school at a later age or whatever? Honestly, I didn't feel weird. I just didn't. I mean there I will say, I'm not going to lie, there are people think it's really funny to sometimes point out when, like, okay, there will be like a 20-year-old who's like, who finds out, 26 or 27, whatever, at that age, and is like, oh my god, I thought I thought you were my age. I cannot, you do not look that old. Like, as if I'm just like one foot in the grave. I thought it was funny at first and then got a little annoying after some time, because I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. When I was 20 years old, I literally never thought people in their later 20s were like old. It's like weird. You can get that at times, but not, you also don't have to tell anyone your age. For me, it just for some reason came up. I think because I would talk about like my experiences, especially in like film school. I would talk about my experiences in film, and then people are like, "Wow, you did a lot," because they're thinking I'm only 20 years old. And then people, I even had a professor one time ask me like, "Were you a child actress or were you child? Were you?" And I was like, "Oh, no, 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 I'm." And I would say my age, and they're like, "Oh," like even a professor. And I think that's just also people just like, I don't know. People just have a very, I think, specific image of what certain ages look like or sound like or whatever. But it's not like anyone judged me. Like, nobody was judging me. If they were, I couldn't tell or care. But nobody was judging me for not being 20 years old, not even 30. And even if I was, or 40 or whatever, nobody would judge that. There were plenty of people at university and especially community college who were, I mean, I knew somebody who was 60 years old. I mean, people go back all the time or start or whatever at all ages. So nobody's judging that. I think for me, it was just, I don't know. I think people just are funny about it. And it's like specifically that like age difference. It's not like people wouldn't do that to like a 40-year-old, I don't think. They do that to like later 20s. And if you appear like your friends or whatever, like 20 years old at school, people just, I guess, don't expect it. But they're not judging it. They're just more like, oh, I didn't realize that. So I honestly would not let that stop you if you're thinking about going to school and you're like, will I fit in or whatever. And to be fair, community college, once again, very ages, all the ages vary like crazy, and personalities and everything. And then where I went to university, well, it's not a party school and it's not like a live-in school. Like, there's apartments nearby and everything, but I don't know. I mean, it's just in general, even for the people who are who went at like 18. There was definitely sororities and everything that people could get involved in that would create that community probably when you're younger and if you decided to go that route. But it also wasn't uncommon at all for people to, oh, a commuter school. That's what I'm thinking, commuter school. So it wasn't uncommon for people to be coming from all surrounding areas and to just be treating it as school. It wasn't like school was their bubble or their life. Like a lot of people worked outside of school. So it never made me feel so much older than other people because a lot of people at like 20 also had the same uh, responsibilities I did on average. A lot of them, maybe they lived at home or they didn't, but they still had to work and they just had other things going on outside of school. Keep that into consideration too. That might really help you if you're going a little later in life to go to a school that's a little bit more like a commuter school. Now, if you're looking to go to college and you're thinking, okay, I'm 28 and I would like to be like in a sorority, there might be sororities, I don't know, for people that it varies in age. For me, I never cared about that, but I also genuinely wouldn't have felt comfortable. Not that I care about age, but just because it's it's like I kind of went through a lot. Like I would have been in the same little bubble as a lot of like 18-year-olds. And that felt weird for me at like 26, 20, 26 or whatever when I went to university. Is like what can I talk about? They're all like maybe trying to spot some beer. I don't know what 18-year-olds do and I'm over there drinking wine with their moms, that's so for me I just it wasn't something I'd care about. If that's an experience you care about, that might be a little harder. I don't know. Do people even really care about that experience once they're past like 22 years old? Honestly, I am really excited about my next steps. I have to remind myself that constantly because I'm excited, but I am but I definitely I'm not acting like I have it together at all. I have had plenty of days of sitting in bed, sad and lost. And I think I like change, but change is also very hard for me. And I think it's hard for a lot of people. So while I'm excited, in some ways, I'm also scared, and all of it can coexist, and that's okay. And I'm telling that for me, but I'm telling that for you too. And right now, I'm just trying to continue to build my life. I think after graduation, actually, even before graduation, I was starting to pull away from my life, pull away kind of from my friends, pull away from my surroundings. I think it's your body's natural way of trying to like brace for change and kind of disconnect yourself from your surroundings. But I'm trying to be intentional right now and enjoy all of the stuff that's still around me while I continue to apply for jobs. I need to not put more pressure on myself, just like you need to not put more pressure on yourself to have it all figured out right now and to get it at a certain time frame. Just do stuff that is still productive. I'm still working. I'm not doing the job right now that I'm applying to, but I'm still working and gathering income and keeping busy as much as I can. But I also have plenty of down days, and that's okay too. And I know it's common for people after you graduate to be like, so what's next? What are you doing? What are you gonna have? Where are you gonna move? It's really, really annoying. But people usually mean well when they do that. They see it as an exciting time without remembering what it's like to feel in that moment of all that pressure that usually people put on themselves after graduation. It's okay to just be like, I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you know when I know. Or I'm applying to jobs, let you know what pulls through. And then if they ask, well, what are you applying to? I'll just say, it just jobs right now. I'll let you know what pulls through. I'm deciding different if you don't know what you want yet. I'm applying to a variety of things. Just give yourself some grace during this time and also just allow yourself to watch some Netflix and Just chill a little bit too. Just do the stuff you got to do. And at the end of the day, you just got to realize, okay, I did what I could do today. It's going to be okay. You're going to figure it out. Even if your first job out is not the job you want or what you thought it would be, it's going to be okay. Because sometimes it just takes action, even in ways you didn't think that it would be going towards for you to continue to find your path. So I do know that's true. I do know that's true, but I'm also saying it for me to remind myself because sometimes your girl can lose some faith. We will figure it out alone and together. Hi.